Okay, back to my 2017 book, Eco-literate Music Pedagogy. We're up to Chapter 3, Ecomusicology. I start with a long quote from the Catholic priest and eco-theologian Thomas Berry. We need to see the earth in its sequence of transformations as so many movements in a musical composition. The sequence of events that emerge in time needs to be understood simultaneously, as in music. The early notes are gone when the later notes are played, but the musical phrase, indeed the entire symphony, needs to be heard simultaneously. Each new theme alters the meaning of the earlier themes and the entire composition. The opening theme resonates throughout all the later parts of the piece. End quote. Teaching music as ecological activism. After studying the nature-inspired compositional techniques of Emily Doolittle, I guided the Intro to Western Music students through YouTube videos that typify some of the ways people music for ecological justice. Hunter Hensley's Requiem for the Mountains, They Call It Progress by Mike Townsend, Vancouver opera violinist Carolyn Cole performing for protesters in British Columbia opposing Kinder Morgan's pipeline survey, will.i.am's SOS, and Don't Frack My Mother by Sean Lennon, Yoko Ono, and Artists Against Fracking. In small groups, students discussed what each artist hoped to accomplish, whether each artist's aims were local or global, how classical and popular music activism relate to and differ from one another, and what these say about music and society and nature. Both Hensley and Townsend hoped to stop mountaintop removal in Kentucky. Their aims were local. Similarly, Cole's playing was for a specific group of protesters, and Lennon and Ono's song aims to stop fracking in New York. will.i.am takes more of a global perspective. That makes sense. He is more widely known than the other people we listen to. Many of the other artists seem to write about local issues, but don't deliberately connect them to global problems. SOS asks for God's help. I wonder if that's because we cannot fix climate change without divine intervention. But he does point to greed, and that's something we can change. We can be less greedy. Don't Frack My Mother aims to raise awareness. Both of the Kentucky songs are about raising awareness. Cole aims to bring beauty or relief to protesters after a long, stressful day protesting the pipeline. The popular music styles had an advantage. Lyrics can be tailored to a specific cause. Hensley and Cole are using pre-existing music, and neither were written for today's problems. Does Hensley's use of a requiem, a mass for the dead, say anything? Not much. Nobody speaks Latin anymore. It seems a bit hopeless because the mountains are already gone forever. So that was a conversation. Eco-literate music pedagogy emerged as a confluence of personal experience and reading, of ecological literacy, indigenous knowledge, and deep ecology. During this time, I became aware of ecomusicology, a new discipline that emerged during my doctoral studies and continues to grow. Ecomusicology is a subfield of both musicology and ethnomusicology, and brings those disciplines' traditional focus together with eco-criticism. Though other humanistic disciplines have a long history of studying nature, as recently as 2002, nature was described as a fashionable postmodern topic for musicologists. Composers like Beethoven, Messiaen, R. Murray Schafer, and Pauline Oliveros have long been influenced by nature's musics. In 2011, the Journal of the American Musicological Society published a special edition focused on ecomusicology. Ecomusicologists study nature's portrayal by composers, the musics of non-Western cultures, and music for ecological activism. 3 recent books have helped define this emerging subfield, by Allen and Dahl, Pedagogy, and Pedagogy, providing insights into the intersections of environment and music, which helped inform the creation of eco-literate music pedagogy. Pedagogy's 2 books focus on activism and sustainability in popular music, and Allen and Dahl edited a book that theorizes and shares examples of ecomusicology in non-Western cultures. In this chapter, I will describe ecomusicology in Western music, ethnomusicology, and popular music, and explore some possibilities for eco-literate music pedagogy. Ecomusicology and Western music. Ecomusicology locates its seminal writings in the composer R. Murray Schafer's soundscape, work he began in the 1960s at Simon Fraser University. Schafer's World Soundscape Project endeavored to increase public awareness of sound, documenting environmental sound and its changing character, and establishing the concept and practice of soundscape design as an alternative to noise pollution. That's a quote from Westerkamp. Because humans impact ecosystems, the current epoch, geologic period longer than an age, is often called the Anthropocene. Soundscapes can be understood as composed. Not only have environmental music shaped compositions, for instance, Beethoven's Pastoral Symphony, Oliver Messiaen's Reveille des Ossois, sorry for anybody that speaks French, Emily Doolittle's Falling Still, Laurie Spiegel's Anna and the Mouse, but also human-made, intentional, and sometimes frustratingly unintentional sounds, for instance, cars, construction equipment, boom boxes, chatting, dominate the soundscape most of us experience daily. The discipline of ecomusicology emerges as a critical study of the intersections of music and environment, and current studies use Schafer's insights, such as Cook, McCutcheon, Seeger. Paradoxically, to study intersections assumes music and environment are separate, an assumption challenged deeply by music education on soil. See Chapter 4, Deep Ecology. Nonetheless, the current chapter functions as a literature review. Beginning from intersections seems to have allowed ecomusicology to emerge. Musicological study of Messiaen's music may have helped move scholarship toward ecomusicology, because, according to Hold, one cannot discuss the music of Oliver Messiaen without mentioning birdsong. To understand birdsong's influences on composers, researchers must consider biological and aesthetic questions. Messiaen's transcriptions involve imaginative moments, transmuting birdsong transcriptions for artistic purposes. Messiaen seems to place value on the musics of birds, and Reveille des Osseaux has 3 dedications. These include dedications to an ornithologist and to the birds of our woods. This suggests a scientific, ornithological, and an artistic, ecocentric aim. The dual aim can be found in soundscape compositions and in contemporary ecomusicology literature. In eco-literate music pedagogy, music educators use the precedents to inspire an interdisciplinary approach, incorporating scientific and artistic aims.